Hey, why won't you talk to us? We don't want a Mount Valley pipeline to go through the same mountains you've already let them blow up.
Get off my stage! Off my stage!
I'm Riley Hall. I'm from Parkersburg, West Virginia, and Manchin is a fucking coward. How did he win this? It's because he takes the most money from fossil fuel corporations.
He has received over $1 million just in the last year alone from fossil fuel interests. He's the #1 recipient of fossil fuel money in Congress.
23 days I hunger strike because we did everything we're supposed to. I knocked on thousands of doors. I talked to hundreds of West Virginians. I did everything I was supposed to.
Dirty deal, MVP, Manchin, you are killing me. Dirty deal, MVP, Manchin, you are killing me. Dirty deal, MVP.
All right, guys, we got to talk about the left-wing climate extremists who have not given up trying to save the world, okay? Because these people are brainwashed into believing if we don't do something about climate change, then the world is going to end, okay? And just like most of the left-wing extremists, they never, ever, ever give up, okay? They never stop protesting, and in some cases, a lot of cases, using acts of violence to achieve their far-left political agenda. Whether you look at BLM, Antifa, the Roe v. Wade rioters, the pro-Palestine rioters, the climate activists, again, they all seem to never give up when it comes to protesting for their cause. And they are prone to using acts of violence in order to get what they want, okay? In some aspects of what they do, the fact that they are very resilient, that is something to be admired. But again, the violence is not something that we should condone, okay? And these extremists are getting very annoying because they actually really are getting in the way of everyday people living their lives. And the climate extremists are probably the most annoying because their protest quite literally is not going to do anything at all about what is happening, right, in terms of the climate. So with that being said, one of their favorite targets is Joe Manchin, who is a senator from West Virginia. And Joe Manchin happens to be a Democrat, but he's not a leftist Democrat, okay? I think he's still liberal, but he's not all the way to the left. And this is why they like to target him a lot, because he, to a certain extent, is kind of pro-fossil fuels, right? So they really, really, really like coming after him. And it just so happens that a recent confrontation with Joe Manchin did not end well for one of these climate extremists, because Joe Manchin seemed to be ready to fight when a climate extremist got in his face and was talking a whole bunch of smack. Take a look.
Joe Manchin sold our futures and he's gotten rich doing it. You sick fuck. How dare you? You sold our futures.
You don't want to sit down somewhere so you can talk?
I'm not going to sit down. You've received more funding from fossil fuels than any other senator.
You made millions out of your position. You drive a Maserati.
Valley pipeline goes right through West Virginia, which are your constituents.
These people came here.
Support this pipeline?
The pipeline they should support because it has energy going to...
Not your futures, not your profits. The Mountain Valley pipeline will eventually be one of the many pipelines that will benefit everybody.
That's the same for yourself.
We'll get back on track here, guys.
Protect our futures, not your profits. Protect our futures, not your profits. Protect our futures.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? That is from the climate crybabies, okay, who tried to square up with Joe Manchin, right? Tried to confront Joe Manchin, called him a sick F to his face. And Joe Manchin wasn't having it, okay? He was ready to fight, right? He was ready to knock that guy out, I believe. But, you know, I think his security guard handled it for him, okay? He got in the way of the guy and threw him out of the room, okay? Which, you know, hey, unfortunately, that is kind of what is happening or has to happen because these people are violent, okay? I mean, that individual was trying to fight Joe Manchin. You get in the guy's face, calling him a sick effer. Those are fighting words, right? That's exactly what it is. Those are fighting words. And that is how brainwashed these individuals have become, that they're at the point now where they're trying to fight politicians, right? They're trying to fight politicians because of the climate, okay? Now, with that being said, Joe Manchin is somebody that we got to talk about because he was somebody that was speculated to potentially start a third-party bid to run against Biden and Trump. However, Joe Manchin has come out here and shut down those rumors of him running third party, mainly on the No Labels platform. And we have some information as to why that might be.
You know, I've said this, I love my country too much to ever support or vote for Donald Trump. I was very honest. I've known him, I've tried to work with him, and I just come to the conclusion that's going to be impossible. So with that, I've known Joe Biden for a long time. We've been friends. And I think Joe's been pushed too far to the left. I'm just trying to do everything I can to move him back a little bit to center left. And I think that's where 55 to 60% of the people. My daughter started a 501c4, which is Americans Together. We have found out going around the country, this is where the power is. They just don't know it. They don't know how to use it because there's nothing organized. They're either forced to go left or right. Pick your side. There's only one side, the American side. There's not a Democrat or Republican side when it comes to defending the Constitution. And that's what we're trying to do and get people understanding that power. I came to the conclusion I never wanted to be a spoiler, and I think I said that from day one. I will never put myself to be a spoiler or a handicap at one side or the other. I wouldn't do that. And I just didn't feel comfortable. It was the right time to see a difference of what I could have a clear path forward to try to unite the country. Other than being a spoiler or taking votes or harming one side or being accused of saying, well, you threw it this way, you threw it that way. That's not what I wanted to do. And I got to that point, I had to come to that conclusion.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. Okay, Joe Manchin has come out and basically said that, look, I'm not going to run third party, despite the speculation that he was going to do so, despite coming out here and basically saying that Biden's too far to the left and that he's Trump deranged. And there's a reason why he's doing that, okay? He's having his strings pulled behind closed doors by Bill Clinton. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. However, I want to play this clip of one of the leaders of the No Labels party that is talking about the platform and who they want to run and the potential for somebody to be their nominee, because they're going to have to decide soon, okay? And I did a video yesterday speculating that maybe, just maybe, Nikki Haley could be that choice, considering how she's continuing to run in the GOP primary, despite the fact that she has no chance of winning. However, Nikki Haley has said that she doesn't want to run on No Labels. She has ruled that out, but who can really believe her, considering that her word doesn't mean anything? She also said she wasn't going to run against Trump. She did that. And she's also recently come out and said that she probably is not going to endorse Trump if he is the GOP nominee, which is breaking the pledge that she made to the RNC to endorse the eventual GOP nominee.
On March 8, we will gather our 800 delegates from all 50 states who would ultimately approve a final unity ticket to discuss the path forward. Nikki Haley says she's rejecting a third-party No Labels presidential bid possibility because she wouldn't be able to work with the Democratic vice president. Next Friday, No Labels gathers 50 states, 800 delegates. I'm wondering, you know, I remember there was a Republican leader in Philadelphia. I knew him, Billy Meehan, and I'm giving him the credit, whether he deserves it or not, because he's the first person I ever heard say, you can't beat somebody with nobody. Are they going to be able to find someone who is, you know, meeting the criteria they've set forth to be their candidate, their ticket, if they decide to do this?
They're running out of warm bodies. I mean, they were flirting with Joe Manchin for a long time, and he's criticizing them pretty strongly and saying that they're going to play a spoiler role if they run. And they have said going in, we will not be a spoiler. We're not going to hand the election to Trump. We're only going to run if we can win. Nikki Haley just dropped out. Larry Hogan has previously. There's only people like Chris Christie, who is thirsty for the White House, thirsty as Joe Biden used to be before he got there. And I'm not sure that there's this big centrist groundswell in American politics right now. People are fed up with establishment politicians. They're not really eager for more third-party establishment politicians. So I would take the under on them going forward.
I don't agree. If your argument is there's not a groundswell for Chris Christie, that I believe, all the data shows it. But I look at all the data you do, and 3/4 of Americans, they want another choice. I think the moon and the stars have lined up for this election. But you got to have candidates. You've got to have, and I've not heard any names so far that I think, okay, that's the ticket.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. Okay, it seems like the third-party No Labels bid is kind of falling apart. Okay, now Nikki Haley says she wouldn't do it. I personally don't understand why she's still in the GOP race if she's not looking to run third party, because she's damn sure not helping herself out with the future of the GOP. Like, I don't think she's actually going to be able to run in the future as long as she continues to try to attack Trump and to hurt Trump during this GOP primary.
Super Tuesday, Nikki Haley, is this, I don't want to be mean, but does it feel like there isn't, she had to do it anyway? Yeah. I look at the map, it's a non-zero possibility that she gets shut out. I think we have some graphics somewhere that can show you, but when I went through with the amazing Caleb Parker and looked for what the thresholds are in these states, you know, she could get totally shut out.
She could, Chris, and I thought your interview was very good. And she says it's not gotten personal with Donald Trump. It's gotten personal. Totally. I'm not so sure she's going to endorse him. Maybe she wins Virginia, but she could get shut out. And then she's got to make some decisions because the third party group, No Labels, is thinking about her. And she's got to make a decision because I don't think she's going to be in this race much longer.
Yeah, so again, Super Tuesday is on March 5th, okay? And No Labels needs to decide pretty soon in regards to who's going to be their nominee. Now, after Super Tuesday, once Nikki Haley gets swept, because she will get swept, maybe she might win one state. She just won Washington, D.C., which tells you everything you need to know about Nikki Haley and her politics. I mean, she won the most liberal Republicans in the party, right? Because those are the Washington, D.C. Republicans, I believe, okay? So she won them. But outside of that, I don't think she has much of a chance of winning any other state. So with that being said, after Super Tuesday, she's gonna have to make a decision. I'm like, she's gonna have to drop out, okay? And if she really wants to run third party, she's gonna need to drop out and then do so at that point, right? So we'll see. I don't know if Nikki Haley's gonna do it. I just don't understand why she's still in the race if she's not gonna run third party, but we will see, okay? Because ultimately, the third-party bid really is about trying to stop Trump, okay? Because behind the scenes, the powers that be are actively shutting down third-party bids that they don't believe can actually help the establishment cause of beating Trump. All of this is about beating Trump in 2024, whether that be from Democrats, whether that be from Nikki Haley. They're all trying to beat Trump. That's what they want to do. Okay, so with that being said, let's read about Bill Clinton and how he basically punked Joe Manchin into not running in the third party. Bill Clinton helped convince two candidates to drop their fantasies of third-party presidential runs, which is part of the former president and his wife, Hillary Clinton, taking a more active and expansive role in the 2024 political field, according to a new report. New York Magazine's Gabrielle Benedetti reported on Monday that the Clintons have been keeping a close eye on the 2024 presidential election, and this included Bill Clinton convincing both former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan and Senator Joe Manchin that third-party runs would only benefit Donald Trump and hurt President Joe Biden. Yeah, I mean, well, I tend to agree with that, and the reason why is because Trump has a stronger base than any of these people, okay? Especially Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't have a base. Joe Biden's base was never Trump. And that's why Joe Biden is struggling so much, because nobody actually likes Joe Biden, right? Nobody's going out and saying, I'm going to vote for Joe because I like Joe Biden, right? Nobody does that, okay? Everybody is voting for Trump because they want to vote for Trump. They actually like Trump, okay? But when it comes to Joe Biden, people vote for Joe Biden because they have Trump derangement. That's essentially what's going on here. According to the report, Clinton was more forceful in his approach with Manchin, who up until recently was consistently teasing a potential run, likely on the No Labels ticket. Clinton told Manchin flat out that a presidential bid by him would land Trump back in the White House. Again, that explains why Joe Manchin's coming out here and saying the things he's saying, because these guys are puppets, man. They're puppets, okay? They have bosses, handlers that they look up to tell them what to do, right? Joe Manchin can man up to the climate extremists, which, you know, hey, I don't blame him for, but he can't man up to Bill Clinton and say, you know what, I'm going to run. I'm going to run anyways. No. Hillary Clinton has also been taking an active role in helping Democrats, which include regular talks with Vice President Kamala Harris. Well, that's not helping, right? I mean, I think that's probably making it worse for them, to be quite honest with you. Clinton hasn't won anything, right? When's the last time Hillary's won anything? Associates of the Clintons claimed the pair was looking at precinct level data and getting heavily involved. Quote, the junkies, one associate of Hillary Clinton and Biden said they're looking at polls. They're all in. Yeah, so that's how desperate the Democrats are, okay? That their handlers, Bill and Hillary Clinton, are now involved in trying to help them save their chances of winning in 2024. That includes telling people not to run third party. Now, does that apply to Nikki Haley? Did they get in Nikki Haley's ear and tell Nikki Haley, hey, don't run no labels? I don't know. But if Nikki Haley does run no labels, I would be slightly concerned about it. And the reason why is because she would take away some Republican votes from Trump, I believe. The question is whether or not she would take away more votes from Biden or Trump. At this point, I really don't know, because I think a lot of Nikki Haley's support probably are Democrats that are not supportive of Joe Biden. They're looking to cross over, but they don't necessarily like Trump for whatever reason. But I would be inclined to believe that if Nikki runs third party, that she probably could potentially hurt Trump more than hurting Biden. And that's why, honestly, I hope that she doesn't do it, right? I hope that she actually sticks to her word and does not run third party. But we all know at this point that Nikki Haley's word doesn't mean anything. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.